warm welcome back. This is Sage. You're watching 𝐊𝐴𝐴 TV live from Sydney. This is the Stocks in Action show. So let's have a look at the ASX 200 and the ASX listed stocks that are trending today. The S&P ASX 200 dropped 0.25% to 7,002.10 at 12:11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The bottom performing stocks in this index are Kogan.com Limited down 12.22% and New Farm Limited down as well, 5.94%. Over the last 5 days, the index is virtually unchanged, but is currently 2.38% below its 52-week high. And 7 of 11 sectors are higher today. Information technology is the best performing sector, gaining 2.03% and 6.45% for the past 5 days. And on that note, let us look at a few key global and domestic developments. Retail sales rose 1.1% in April. The Australian Bureau of Statistics, or ABS, has released April's retail sales figures, and Australian retail turnover rose 1.1% in April 2021, seasonally adjusted according to preliminary retail trade figures. Turnover rose 25.1% when compared to April 2020, as retail turnover recorded in April 2020 was low due to nationwide coronavirus restrictions in April 2020, which saw physical stores closed for all but essential retail and restrictions placed on people leaving their homes. Ben James, Director of Quarterly Economy-Wide Surveys, said food retailing led the rises in April, following falls in both February and March 2021. All industries except department stores rose, with similar rises for cafes, restaurants and takeaway food services, household goods retailing and other retailing. Federal Reserve will issue reports on US digital currency. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, said the central bank is expected to launch a research paper on digital currencies this summer, seeking public opinions as they weigh to issue one in the future. And referring to the central bank digital currencies, he said on Thursday, US time, that they are committed at the Federal Reserve to hearing a wide range of voices on this important issue before making any decisions on whether and how to move forward with the US CBDC. And the announcement came in the week which witnessed intense volatility in cryptocurrencies, prompting Fed to shift its stance on the CBDC, which until now has mostly been a technological research project at its regional branch in Boston. The PMI data of many nations expected. Japan, Eurozone, UK and US are scheduled to release their May PMI data today. The other major global releases include Japan's April CPI, Eurozone's May's consumer confidence and UK's April retail sales and May's consumer sentiment, as well as US's April existing home sales data. Gold prices inched higher on weaker dollar and treasury yields. The gold prices inched nearly 1% on Thursday to reach close to a 4-month peak amid falling US treasury yields and a weaker US dollar. Gold futures for July delivery traded at US $1,874.80 per troy ounce on COMEX, down 0.38% as of 21st of May 2021, current at 10:56 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And the federal government's hint of monetary tightening and possible tapering of economic support measures has increased the bullion's appeal. Adding to that, inflation expectations are also driving the prices of the yellow metal. An increase in demand for gold as a safe haven investment in Asian countries amid rising coronavirus cases and a big crash in the crypto market are also prompting investors to rely in this bullion. The prices of gold rallied more than 6% this month and are expected to rise more as the investors are ditching Bitcoin in favour of gold. Well, on that note, let's have a look at some major news from the ASX listed companies from across the sectors. And we will be back right after this short break with that news.
At 𝐊𝐶𝐞 TV, we'll take you to the heart of the Australian equity market. We'll bring you breakthrough stories that highlight volatility, as well as tailwinds building across the length and breadth of markets. Whether space travel will gain momentum, while economies may gradually open amid vaccine rollouts, our experts will share their timely inputs. So join us on this exciting journey of live streaming, financial and stock market news. 𝐊𝐶𝐞 TV.
And welcome back to 𝐊𝐶𝐞 TV, and this is why you watch 𝐊𝐶𝐞 TV, because we bring you the big news from the ASX that matters. And the first big news is Acumentis secures 100% ownership of its Western Australian associate. And Acumentis Group Limited shared that it has acquired the remaining 57.8% of its Western Australian associate Acumentis WA Holdings Pty Limited. The acquisition takes ahead the Acumentis' strategy to improve the client experience for valuation and property advisory services. And the total acquisition price is between 2.6 million Australian dollars and 3.9 million Australian dollars. Also, as per the company's release, acquisition price is to be settled in 55% cash and 45% issuance of new shares in Acumentis. Effective from the 1st of July 2021, the settlement is expected mid-July 2021. And the announcement by the company read that the ownership adds around 7 to 8 million Australian dollars annual revenue to the consolidated results of Acumentis. Acumentis Group Limited stock was trading at 0.115 Australian dollars, current at 12:11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And now let's look at the next big news from the ASX. We have got Airtasker, who enters the US with Zyli acquisition. So Airtasker Limited shared it has acquired the local services marketplace of Zyli to fast-track expansion in the US. And Zyli has been acquired fully for $3.4 million. And Zyli will add 597,000 customers and 900 plus verified service providers from the US to Airtasker's network. And Zyli CEO and co-founder Bo Fishback shall lead the US expansion exercise. He will be assisted by his team of a highly experienced group of product and operations experts. Airtasker also launched an 20.7 million Australian dollar capital raising. Proceeds from the placement shall be used to fund the acquisition of Zyli and for international expansion, especially in the US and the UK. Airtasker Limited shares traded at 1.080 Australian dollars, current at 12:11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And meanwhile, this ASX-listed stock is in the news today. Pursuit Minerals skyrockets 34% on geochemical findings at Warrior. Pursuit Minerals Limited One of the most traded stock in the wee hours of Friday shared that it has received results for the first 238 hand auger soil samples over the Phil's Hill PGE nickel copper prospect at its Warrior project. And the project has direct access to major highway, rail, power and port infrastructure in Western Australia. Phil's Hill is located 40 kilometres northeast of the 𝐊𝐿𝐴 project, and Pursuit Sampling has confirmed the presence of anomalous PGE's nickel, copper and gold associated with mafic, ultramafic rocks, which are the host for the PGE nickel copper mineralisation at 𝐊𝐿𝐴. Pursuit Minerals Limited share price of the stock spurted at the find report, and the stock was trading at 0.076 Australian dollars per share, and that's 24.590% higher at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And now moving on to the next big news. Red 5 cuts the production outlook at the WA project and shares tumble. Red 5 Limited fell as much as 11.5% to 0.173 on Friday, and the company has cut the production outlook for the Darlot gold mine in Western Australia to 74,000 ounces to 78,000 ounces from previous forecasts of 80 to 85,000 ounces. Red added downward revisions due to mining rates is being negatively affected by machine operator and labour shortages, while the stock is down 23.1% this year as of the last close at 12:11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Red 5 Limited was trading 10.257% lower at 0.175 Australian dollars per share. Meanwhile, this ASX listed stock is in the news today as well. Kogan.com at 1-year lows as inventory issues sour its outlook. The shares of Kogan.com Limited slumped as much as 12.217% to Australian $8.91, current at 12:11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And KGN says its best projected financial year 21 adjusted EBITDA is in the range of 58 to 63 million Australian dollars, missing the RBC estimates of about 70 million Australian dollars. And KGN stated rapid expansion of inventory and footprint resulted in a number of near-term supply chain issues and inventory planning challenges. The company mentioned building up inventory levels from late 2020 have caused high warehousing costs that are continuing, and KGN is also experiencing cost price inflation in many consumer products. And Kogan.com Limited stock is the top loser in the benchmark stock index AXJO. Thanks so much for joining us on that report. Hopefully that information will be of use to you. That is all for now, but stay tuned with 𝐊𝐴𝐴 TV for more live market updates. We will be back with more news on the economy, markets, diverse themes and sectors. Sage signing off for now.